Well, MechWarriors, here we are at HD 417328. This is OpenPlay's MechWarrior 5 in campaign mode, modded, and we're in the final 5 missions. This is the second of the final 5, Blackout, in particular. I wanted to go ahead and take the opportunity to show you that here, in this system at least, the equipment is rather sparse. So that's all weapons. You can get a chemical laser or a light rifle, and no ammunition. Nothing else. So don't come here looking for stuff and go back to an industrial hub if you get here and you need stuff. You're not going to find it. What you will find, strangely enough, are skilled, trained battlemech pilots laying around way out here. This is kind of an abnormality, and I don't get it. I mean, look at this, 5467. I would hire her if I needed more. I'd do it in a heartbeat. And if I lose somebody, I will come back here and hire her. Well, actually, I have to lose a lot of somebodies because I've already got a pretty full pilot roster. I mean, I've got a full roster and a second lance I can throw together. So don't think we need it. I still got one day on the Night Star. Might as well standard transmissions. There's nothing going on that's new. So we're just here for the 90 campaign 400 ton limit. And folks, it never drops below 400 from this point on within the campaign missions. So here we are. What that means is I'm going to be running at least one pilot with no affinity in the mech that I give him. I think if you remember last time we did the entire gimme salvage thing and there wasn't nothing there. So I'm taking the 6.7 million C-bills and I'm shoving it in the bank because I might need to run back and do repairs, and that's going to be very expensive. So here we go. Oops, I was already there, wasn't I? That was silly. Contracts, continue. Max, all 14 points. I am now level 14, so I get all 14 points. Now, you could really try if you wanted to take the salvage points and get yourself something better. It might actually be enough for an assault mech if we have an assault mech in this round. I'm not really positively sure. This is Blackout. We're going to be attacking a Comstar station and destroying it, razing it to the ground, as it were. It's a busy one. It's a lot of point and shoot. So Battlemaster's going to have to go, I think, even though it puts out 81.62 on an alpha strike. It's not necessarily all about the alpha strike. Sometimes it's about the number of weapons you can knock about. So let's see what that looks like with the the Atlas, I think. No, she is the least proficient with a ballistic weapon, and this one does in fact have one. It's an 81, so actually it is not as good alpha strike wise. But see, I'm sorry, the LBX-10 cluster will take out a tank, so will the SRM-6, and each of the lasers can as well. Pretty much single shot or all of them at once. So before we get into this, I'm going to go ahead and set the Atlas's weapons groups up to reflect what I want it to do. And that's about it. The only thing I would change on that would be to go ahead and take the SRM or the LRM-15 and make it weapon 1. Normally I would do that, But quite frankly, for an Atlas, I do not want it to be hanging back and shooting LRMs. I want it in there, in the fray. And only if something's not close enough to then cast about looking for something it can shoot at long distance. Especially at the beginning of this. We're going to get mobbed. This is going to be, what is the word for it? A cluster. Yeah. Yeah, that works. Close to 40 all at the beginning. Here we go. That sounded optimistic, doesn't it? It's never killed me. It's beaten me up a little bit. Long and the short of it, I'll jump into that Atlas from the Night Star if the Night Star starts taking too much damage.
Hangar doors open. Stand clear.
Reactor online. Sensors online. Weapons online. All systems grounded.
The target is Comstar's communications hub. It needs to be reduced.
Speaking of all that, thought so. No. The other way.
Rubble in order to limit their operating proficiency in the region. I've marked his location on your map, Commander.
Copy that.
Okay, to explain, I know that the beginning of this is a ambush by a large number of tanks and VTOLs. So that's what I'm set up for. You can call that a cheat if you want. I call it memory. What I'm looking at doing is being able to shoot down 2 VTOLs or take out 2 tanks per reload cycle. In other words, kill them fast, kill them all. Now the tanks come from that direction, VTOLs come from this direction. Some tanks over here too, but mostly VTOLs. I'm going to try and clear the air, as it were, while I direct my other guys to go over here and take out tanks. We're up. Too far for that still. It's amazing how a mission like this, everything I shoot seems to miss. Normally I'm deadly accurate. Red dots on the map. The trick when you're doing something like this is do not get freaked out. If you do, you're dead. Which you might be dead anyway. Sometimes there's a reason you get freaked out, you know what I mean? Don't know what button I just hit. You know, getting freaked out. kill tanks by stepping on them. It strips armor off your legs when they explode. Big one. Speaking of stripping armor off your legs, I am orange in the center. And my dog just got slap happy with his big ball. Pardon the background noise, can't trim it out, not going to. How is that? Do not freak out when that comes at you. Do not lock up. Just remembered to slow down so the Atlas can keep up. It's my slowest mech now. I did this once with a bunch of missile launchers, LRMs, and trying to stand back, and bottom line is they're all faster than you are. Any reasonable sized LRM launcher is slow. Had not had the mods going yet at the time, so it worked. We survived. And then running in with machine guns to destroy the base as the final in-game part of it. Got awkward. It worked. There's the base. Normally I'd stand right here with a ballistic weapon and chew the hell out of that. Don't have it this time. There we go. Let them do it instead. Too far away. Yep. Heard it, didn't kill it. At this point, you take off the chain fire and do it for reals.
Storage facility has been hit. It's as good as done.
Target acquired.
Woo!
New target.
This should be good.
Our target is now marked. Go get him.
Face, come on. Thank you. Be advised, my job is to kill this facility. At this point, that means get myself. Yeah, I just got
They're operating our
yellowed in the back.
Keep on smashing.
I don't know why, just stuck in the way I do things. I prefer that way around. And we'll switch this to this because it's me now, not the AI.
Integrity of this place is down to 50%. We're halfway there.
As ordered.
New target created.
told the Night Star to get on me.
Nothing like razing an entire installation to the ground to let your enemy know you mean business. Nice work. You know the drill. Head to the extraction point. I'm on my way.
I do, but for some reason I'm in the slowest mech I have.
Received. On the move.
This is Baron. It's out of here.
Target destroyed.
This is Baron. Enemy vehicle destroyed.
Doing my best to clear the path.
Victory
Get that
is
Night Star
ours,
through.
Commander. Prepare for evac.
I'm gonna have to hope I didn't take any structural damage on the Night Star. But I'll tell you, if at this point I have to go back the Hearts Hill for any reason, I'm gonna pick up that Annihilator if it's still there. Even if I have to keep it loaded with AC-10s on the lower arms. Just not getting the reputation love I expected on this. And it was 6 point something, so we'll see if that evens out in the end. Whole bunch of tank weapons, huh? Yep. That's what you get when you fight a whole bunch of tanks. Leave it go. 34 and 13. So 20, 54. Not that bad, huh? Over 50. Did I forget to carry a 1? 47, 41, yeah. Either way. Oh, an extra 3,200 and an extra 4.5. Now we're getting rich. Look at that. Tier 5. Tier 1, okay. That's a, Why did they include that in there? There we go. And of course, speak to Rihanna. Once I pull myself up in my chair again. I need to put foot straps on this thing. And a tilt mechanism. Where's she at? How come she never comes down to the mech bay and talks to us? And she's got this fancy table up here and all that stuff, but kind of hard to play pool on this.
Hi, Commander. This encryption program is fascinating. It's also frustrating as hell. Each set of coordinates your father had was designed to be progressively more difficult to unlock, though I'm not certain what. That said, I've been
It's
tapping
password
all
1, 2, 3,
three of them in
Rihanna.
and with Spears' help, progress has accelerated nicely. Truth is, if it weren't for the advanced computing resources made available by IE, I'd never have unlocked them. That's my long-winded way of telling you that I've managed to crack the second set of coordinates. We've finally unlocked another potential clue to your father's past.
That's great. I hope these coordinates reveal more than the last set did.
Have faith, Commander. Get us to that system and let's see what we find. You never know. We might just get lucky.
Copy that. Inform Spears that we're on the move. I don't want to wait around here a second longer than we have to.
Understood.
So he's implying that Spears is actually following along here, isn't he? Well, let's see where we're going. But first of all, you know how it works. You gotta repair. Not a lot of fun to get there and die. Oh yeah. Travel to HG 389202. It is HG 309 or 389202. Just checking my memory. This is one of the things that always confused me when I came back and looked at this later on before I was taking notes and actually remembering stuff. You got a system here you cannot go to. Well, you can. You know what? In fact, I've never actually gone there. Don't know why I would. One thing I do want to do now that we're here still, before we go anywhere, see. Well, we already checked that, didn't we? Yeah,
I will
yeah.
be waiting in the ready room, Commander.
Nope. Here, sorry. Different set, another 60. Yep. So apparently being able to hire MechWarriors, your new pilots, is a thing. But don't try to pick up equipment or mechs. Bring what you got. I'm not going to skip to there. Curiosity's killing the cat, but I don't want to do it and find out it's a dead thing and you wind up screwed because there's no jump ship there. So we're going to go ahead and go. There are devious developers out there that will do something like that. I'm one of them. Put a big button on the front end of a database application and say, do not push this. People that do, get a black screen. I'm all fun and games. No transmissions. Oh, another one of those ones where you got to play around. Pushing buttons until it says, go see Rihanna. Yep. Well, I'm already up here, isn't that nifty? Whoops.
Commander, I've completed my initial scans. This planet appears to be the location of a lost Star League spaceport. Unfortunately, it also appears that, once again, Comstar have gone
Once
here
again?
before us.
Why were these coordinates so important to Yamada if Comstar already had them? Why were they worth killing for?
I don't know. The more pertinent question is, how does this location tie into your father's past? Let's focus on that for now.
Is the briefing ready?
It's waiting for your sign-off.
Good. It's time we get some real answers.
Well, we're going to go ahead and run this one, folks. I'm inclined to go ahead and call it an episode and spread these out across 5 different episodes, but I'm going to go ahead and run this one. Because I'm comfortable in my chair and I might as well. Reckoning. I've already mentioned this before, so if you're paying attention and following along, you already know this is the mission in which I get my father's battlemech, a Night Star 9J. Not as good as the WP because it's not a hero mech, but a good 95-pound mech. It sports dual Gauss rifles, so it's a nice headshotter, especially at the upper tier levels of Gauss rifles, which I think I actually have. The only problem is I would literally have to fly back to Harts Hill just to put them in. And that is not likely at this stage. Yeah, I've got a 4. So now I've only got the one really good one. And it is a good one. But we're not going to do that. I'm not going to bother. It increases my tonnage count by only 5, I believe. Yep, let's do it. 95 campaign, so we're pushing it. This is a bug that's been with the system. I don't know what's going on. 800-ton limit. I mean, if I had 800 tons, I'd drop it, but you can't drop 800 tons out of one Leopard class dropship. So, really not sure what caused that. Somebody did a math error and calculated meters instead of feet on the Mars landing. They can definitely do something like this. 5.7 million C-bills. Notice I've picked up to 32. I got money. I could buy an Atlas now, couldn't I? But I can't buy a phone call for help. Still maxed out. Still gonna do this. I forgot to take a look at how she did the Atlas last time. Gosh, I might have to actually load that back up and take a look at it after I ship it up. Ready to go? Go. That's something I don't really do all that often, go back and rewatch. I'll open them up and take a look at them as they're saved on my hard drive before I publish, just to make sure sound volumes and whether or not they're complete mission. But once they're on YouTube, I want to see what the YouTube analytics are, not mess with that by me clicking on them. Now, that doesn't prevent me from asking wife, family, and friends to, you know, open up the video and walk away for an hour and let it play out, so I get the good views times and all that stuff, but nah. I gotta make more shorts, that's the bottom line. That's how I really get views, and hopefully that will let me bring viewers to the channel. I think I've got really good information going on here. I hope I'm helping at least, you know, beginning players, but the bottom line really is there's so many of us out there doing that is it's a packed field, and some of you guys are really, really good. Well, I'm kind of hung on 26%. Well, it's giving me a good opportunity to drain my rum and coke. It's not really rum and coke. It's not moving along. It's actually Gosling's dark rum, Black Seal, and Diet Dr. Pepper Cherry. How's that for a weird one? It's molasses and cherries. Yeah, think about it. Jump to 63, see? Boy, 1% at a time. What is my computer doing? If I get quiet for a while, it's because I've pulled up stuff to see what it really is doing. No, I'm only running at about 30%. Makes no sense to me. Got a benchmarker running in the background, but it's only taking up 2%. And it's been running for the last 2.5 hours of playtime. Part of the reason for that is I got a new PC today. It's going to be controversial in the long run. It's a Mini Forum 680, which is a mini PC, 127 millimeter by 127 millimeter, running on AMD and Ryzen. But I did the reviews, I did all the stuff, and it's half the price of what I was looking at for an Intel platform, and it does just as good, if not better. I'm really hoping it works out. I don't like full-size desktops.
Reactor online.
Yeah, that whole
Sensors online.
big box at your ankles doesn't make sense to me, and I don't want to. Putting it up on a desk is kind of stupid.
Is just up ahead, Commander. We already know Comstar is here, but we don't know how many forces they have on site or how prepared they are for a fight.
I'll lot and
Lucky.
very much.
Maybe we can catch them off guard.
That'd be nice.
When I say a desktop is stupid, sing it on the desktop, it's simply because I don't like big desks. I don't have one, don't like them. I've got your basic 40, 8-inch, 4-foot desk. Thinking about building a bigger one, but I do woodworking, so I would do that. I would build my own. Yeah, we'll be here till mid-February though, so I got time. We'll finish up this campaign, do one run through unmodded on the DLC, and then configure it, get it ready for the next load through. And I'm looking forward to doing at least one more campaign and career run through. After which I'll start dropping little hints and helps as opposed to a full run through. Looking at playing one through all the way to I don't know, somewhere in the 3080, 3090 time frame.
I can't do that.
Yes, you can.
Unable. No target info.
Got it.
Okie dokie. Wrong keys. Trying to get them to move and spring these targets off for me. Hey, get out of my face. Don't care if you're a king crab or not. You're in my way.
Enemy patrol, Commander. Looks like the element of surprise is out the window.
Moving on land target.
This is Baron. Sensors have a new contact.
Target
Baron here. That took care of him.
Shell target. Here we go.
Moving and shooting.
Another crab.
Sorry, sir. This is Baron. That took care of him.
Dropped an earbud. Kind of need that earbud. It's what tells me or lets me listen to what's going into the microphone. And that's kind of important to me, even though as bad as it sounds sometimes. I do get relaxed mode and start talking a little bit too much West Virginia time, so the microphone matters.
More reinforcements headed your way.
Of course there are.
This is Baron. I've got a sensor track. Baron here.
I've got a target. Gonna be some VTOLs over the corner.
Target acquired. Target destroyed.
Taking off my fleece. Getting a little warm in here.
Baron here. Enemy vehicle destroyed.
Not sure I killed that, but I don't see it.
Add one more to my kill count.
Take down that wall so I can see stuff.
Count on it.
This is another one of those long missions that spring ambushes on you.
Set up a field base here on the planet. My guess is they're planning on staying for a while.
That armor damage was on you, Mr. King Crab. You got in my way.
I'm in position, Commander. Copy on shared target.
This is Baron. One less enemy.
Yeah, about 90 more to go. Get up here.
Moving to range.
Roger, moving in fire.
Long range at best.
Target down.
Destroyed. Target
Commander target received.
It's one of the reasons I prefer LBX solids over clusters is the range issue. The spread of a cluster is just
Another urban section up ahead, Commander.
really
Looks
not
like
conducive to
Comstar
long
haven't
range
done much
shots.
to shore up their perimeter defenses yet, but keep an eye out for enemy mechs. They must have a few down here for defense.
Agreed.
And I find it phenomenal that I didn't find a single LBX solid this entire campaign. In fact, I found LBX 10 clusters at the tier 5 level in the early missions, but never found a single, solid.
As ordered.
Not only does it pinpoint damage, but the solid also lets you switch between solid rounds and cluster rounds with a simple keystroke, so you can switch between pinpoint damage and
Awaiting orders.
whacking out VTOLs from
Must
long
have been
range.
an impressive spaceport in its day. Look
Let's
at all
take a
these
look.
support buildings.
Mech profile on screen.
target right away.
Reporting visual contact. Hostile.
No, can't shoot me.
Kill for me. Hell yeah.
Target acquired.
Attacking from here.
And I'll take some of these guys out. Get this building out of my grill.
Target acquired.
Ran into a wall, didn't it?
Enemy mech destroyed.
I'm not sure who did the soundtrack for that, but he needs to turn in his man card. Woohoo is not something men say. I need to turn in my mouse wheel.
By the looks of it, Comstar has already started excavation operations searching for lost tech. Luckily for us, doesn't appear they've been here for too long or made much progress thus far.
I'm just checking out that torso twist, making sure I didn't hit a bad button for it.
Target destroyed.
Still too far for the missiles. There we go. This is me letting my lance mates do some work.
Threat removed.
I mentioned these missions have a lot of targets.
Target acquired.
This is Baron. Enemy vehicle destroyed.
The best way to tell if a target is close or far is how fast they cross the screen from left to right. If they're running pretty fast and you know it's a tank, it's close. Shoot it. You can do that without having to hit the R key and determine what its range is by reading tiny little numbers on the screen. You can just say, well, that's moving fast, target it. Here's a tip for you. Got one of them up here, don't I? Yep. Okay. Walking in water keeps you cooler. How's that for tip number 2? It's not why I'm walking in water. I'm walking in water because it's where I'm walking. Here's another dropship.
That Union dropship. Yeah. Extraordinary, isn't it?
I've
When it
got
was still in
VTOLs in
service,
my rear.
That thing could carry 12 mechs into battle all at once. 3 full lances. From what I'm seeing, this spaceport was far more than a simple refueling station. Back when Star League was still in charge of the Inner Sphere, this must have been a key transport hub.
Yeah, before the Exodus, before the Succession Wars. But there's still a lot of valuable stuff buried around here.
Clear out these Comstar forces and we can find out.
Kestrel Lanterns, by the way, was the kickoff of the 4th Succession War.
I'm on it.
And run by. He got me anyway.
This should be good. This is Baron. It's out of here.
Well, how about you guys get up here? Close-up look at a, I forget the name. This guy supposedly can drop 12 full battle mechs into combat. 3 full lances. No, you don't never get to earn one or buy one or find one or do anything but admire a junked out one and or have them drop stuff on you. 2 ways around this to get to the next map marker. Haven't found a big difference between them. Gonna let the Atlas catch up if it wants to. Sometimes you slow down, it slows down, so the best way to make it catch up is stop. Okay, you can see I've got ECM on the map. If you look up in the upper left-hand corner, you'll see that the Highlander Heavy Metal is blowing ECM. Electronic countermeasures. So we'll run in that protective group. And yeah, there's nothing going to shoot us here, but just wanted to have an opportunity to talk about it. We just split the Highlander off because of the rock. Yeah, that is the Highlander. He's in good shape. Not quite as good as me. King Crab, good shape. Can't rotate far enough to get to the back guy. But from the indicator up in the upper left-hand corner, about the same, maybe a little bit more, or about the same as the Highlander at this point, which has a red arm, by the way. The outlined red arm.
Enemy dropship inbound, Commander.
Those are the words you really want to hear all the time, isn't it?
Moving out.
Positioning my meat shield.
Relocated and scanning for hostiles.
Of course you are.
Destination reached.
And right on time.
They've deployed a full lance. Watch your flanks.
Of course they did. Stand by, kill.
We're on it, Commander.
This should be good.
Put that mech out.
Target
It's
acquired.
as good as done.
Target battlemechs. Target acquired.
Copy. Commander target is our target.
She'll take the paint off of that one for me. Has anything even hit me yet?
Target destroyed.
Moving and shooting.
That was
Enemy mech destroyed.
at least 2 assaults, if not 3, and a heavy.
Commander, we're picking up a very faint radio signal emanating not far from your current position.
From my
I
daddy's
think it's a
battlemech.
homing beacon of some kind. Farhad says it's pinging the Victor.
My father's Victor?
That's right. Farhad was lucky to even notice it on his diagnostic display. I've marked the location. I suggest you investigate.
Copy.
Now keep in mind, if you sell that mech, or salvage it, or do whatever with it, you still get it doesn't make storyline whole, that's all it is. I've still got it. I might want to use it later on. Once the campaign's done, you're basically in career mode, you can do whatever you want. And there's some interesting stuff still to be done. It's not all over when the campaign's over, that's the bottom line.
Commander, I have another dropship on quick approach. Be alert.
This is Yamato. Ah, there it is, Yamato. He too is in a Annihilator. So if you really want to get an Annihilator, you can salvage it right here.
You ordered the death of my father. You're
I decided
leaving
not
this
to.
place alive, Yamada.
See the devil? There he is. Kill him. Let me loosen up his paint job for you. He does hit hard. It is 4 AC-10s, firing all at once for 40 points of damage. You can knock a hole in your armor, straight up. I'm just using my back armor. Just like that, he's gone. Nobody else is seriously hurt yet. My back armor held.
Enemy mech destroyed.
New target find.
Copy, Commander. Lance target confirmed. Mech destroyed.
Excellent work. The site is secure. I suggest you signal, Commander. The location should be marked on your map.
So, for the record, for the end game on that one, it works.
Farhad says the Victor has been trying to return the signal it received, but the return signal was partially corrupted. Farhad managed to restore it. I've transmitted the repaired signal to your mech. Try activating it yourself, and let's see what happens.
You remember how we picked up Agincourt? It's the same scenario. Keep in mind I'm standing here in a Night Star.
Holy shit.
I've never seen a mech like that before, and in pristine condition. Alright, I'm on my way down with Farhad and the salvage teams. Hang tight for pickup.
Roger that.
The irony. I have at least once taken the this Night Star 9J back. Excuse me. Put in double Gauss rifles at higher tiers, refit it, brought it back, and used it to do a headshot on Crucible. It works. You can do it. Of course, anybody can do anything, but it's a viable mech as a double Gauss rifle headshotter. Keep in mind that for the vast majority of stock mechs only keep 18 points of armor on the cockpit, so if you can get both Gauss rifles to focus in, which means you need a good distance because of the convergence of the weapons. And if you think about convergence, think about a World War II fighter with its machine guns or 50 millimeters, whatever, 50 cals. They're in both wings, so they're spread wide when they shoot them. So the idea is there's a sweet spot at the range where they converge, that's the convergence, into a 2-foot area on the target, let's say. It's the same thing with king crabs, Night Stars, anything with heavy weapons in both arms. It's all about where that convergence range actually is. And that's tip number 4, at least. Still only got 3 salvage. Did not want the Annihilator. Wasn't sure I could get it anyway. And nothing in salvage anyhow, so keep that in mind. The Annihilator wasn't there. One part. The single piece of it I could still find on the field, and that's 10 for $1 million worth. Yeah, it just wasn't there. I've played the attempts at doing that, and I'm just gonna tell you, no, doesn't happen. I am fatigued for a day, gosh, but one day's so. I'm just gonna point out that I think she was a 70 max beforehand, so she picked up a point of something along the way. That does happen. Battlefield gains in your abilities. Does happen. 3,600 in damage overall. The Atlas took the most of it. That's cool because that's what the Atlas is for. Didn't lose anything. Managed to somehow kill 5 things, even though it's 5 nothings. These guys did okay with 8 between them for the battlemechs, and overall, well, I'm a killer, but that's not bad. Look at that damage. Everybody almost at 1,500 or above. That's good kills. And there's Daddy's mech. Folks, that's going to be it for this episode of Opa Plays MechWarrior 5. Please comment, like, and subscribe, and we'll see you the next time around, right here. Opa out.